Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you, too!
What's up, dirty dogs?
What up, everybody? Good morning. Here we go.
Did you mean to hold a different item?
2-4.
Thank you for confirmation.
2-4, and is that a before public comment or after public comment, Mr. Clerk?
That would be after public comment.
Got it, okay. Councilmember Rodriguez?
Thank you. Item 4 for an amendment and comments, as well as item 20 and 21 for comments, taken
Okay.
together.
Councilmember Rahman?
Good morning.
Can I please call item 7 special for an amendment, which I will circulate?
Hi, Anthony.
And item 12, I had a question that I'd like to clarify before we vote on it, so if we could
Okay.
hold until after public comment. Thank you.
Councilmember Price?
Thank you, Mr. President. Out of abundance of
Pretty-
caution, I'm
pretty
recusing
slow in
myself
there
from item
today.
7, as I am a landlord. 7.
All right.
Of
Any other
course.
specials members? Did I miss anybody?
Of course he's a landlord, and of course he
All
has
right.
to
Mr. Clerk, what
recuse
items
himself.
are before us at this time?
Mr. President, there's been a request to
Chase is in
continue
the
item
front row,
number
Sean.
30 to Friday, March 13th, 2026.
I just
Okay.
finished feeding
Without
him a
objection,
while
that'll be
ago,
the order.
so it's probably...
And the council may now
Eating up.
vote on items 5,
up, everyone?
6, 8, and 9.
All right, let's open the roll on those items. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
13 eyes.
All right, what's next?
The council may now move on to public comment.
All right, Mr. City
Perfect
Attorney, if you can
timing.
prepare us for
See, we didn't
public
miss
comment.
nothing.
Yes, Mr.
Look at his hair today. Holy shit. Look at his hair. Like he just woke up out of the Prius.
People providing public comment, when it's your turn to speak, please state which of the items you'd like to speak to. You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total for the items open for public comment. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items,
crime?
you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you are on topic,
Matt.
you will get one brief warning from me or the council president. At that point,
Hot
you
here
need to
today,
get
it will
immediately
be.
and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or if you again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time and we will move on to the next speaker. The items open for public comment on the agenda are items 1 through 3 and items 10 through
It'll be
29
85 here today, 90
and
tomorrow.
31 through 43.
It's going to be
So
92
again,
on Tuesday.
The items that are open for public comment on the agenda are items 1 through 3, 10 through 29, and 31 through 43.
So we're already on
Item number
almost
30 has
100
been
degree
continued to
temps
Friday
already.
and is thus not open for public comment.
It's 8 degrees shy.
Members of the public may also speak for up to 1 minute for general public comment. During general public comment, members of the public may speak to any of the items or anything else in the city's subject matter jurisdiction. I have a couple more announcements. If I could have the interpreters make this first one aloud to the room, please. If you require a Spanish language interpreter, please make sure to pause every few sentences so the interpreters can interpret.
Si
Complete
necesitan
opposite here from
interpretación en español, por favor, pausen después de cada frase
Today
o
it's
dos
40.
frases
What a
para darle al
drop, Papa.
intérprete la oportunidad a traducir.
Don't worry, we will pause your time while the interpreters are interpreting, so you will get the same amount of time as everyone else. Thank you.
Y no se preocupen, les pausaremos el tiempo mientras el intérprete está hablando, entonces tendría la misma cantidad de tiempo que las otras personas. Gracias.
Additionally, if you've made an
storms here.
accommodation request
Just sun.
with the clerk's office pursuant to the ADA in order to make use of the wireless handheld microphone, when you hear your name called aloud when it's your turn to speak, please raise your hand so the sergeants can
Christy.
provide you with that wireless handheld microphone. Finally, the order in which we take speakers and call their names is at random. That is to say, it is randomly generated. So in order to help us run an efficient public comment period, we would ask that you please wait until you hear the name that you signed up under called aloud before lining up in any order on your left-hand side of the council chambers. Thank you.
All right, so here we go. I don't think there's going to be too much in there.
When your
Maybe
name is
Audit
called,
LA,
please
Sean
come up.
Murphy.
Lizeth Mendoza, Sean Murphy, Jungwon Hong, Donna So, and Joe Donlin.
And we got Joe Wan Hong. We got all kinds of folks up in here today. Let's go.
Good morning. What would you like to speak to?
On item 28.
Hi, Chamber.
Okay, so you have 1 minute, and I'll just reiterate for everybody. So if you would also like general public comment, please state which items you'd like to speak to, and if you'd like general public comment. So is it just 28?
Let's put general just.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Yeah, so good morning. My name is Lizeth Mendoza, and I'm an organizer with Community Power Collective, also known as CPC.
Sure.
Community Power Collective opposes a proposal to amend Measure ULA. The coalition that developed and won ULA went through an intentional process and research, debate, and analysis because we understood that decisions about this measure could shape Los Angeles for decades. These decisions were not made in a matter of weeks or based on opinions of just a few stakeholders. We expect that this ad hoc committee to approach its work with
You
the
can
same
hear the
level of
president
care.
talking while
That
she's
means
talking.
engaging the coalition that built ULA and seriously analyzing the impacts that reducing ULA funding would have on tenants and working class communities. We are concerned that a timeline ending April 30th does not allow for that level of analysis. Rushing amendments without thorough review would be a mistake, and that could cost the city millions of dollars. Thank you.
He talked through her entire thing.
Good
You
morning.
can hear
What
him
would you like to
talking right
speak
now.
to?
That's the president talking.
Can I speak on the general comment, public comment?
Yes, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is
DEI
Joanne
dummy.
Hong, and I'm here to speak about aggravated assault. In the past 8 years, the total crime rate of murder, robbery, and rape in California is either decreased or remained relatively stable. However, aggravated assault has remained high, average of 60,000 in 2018 and in 2020, but even 2021, it started rising higher and further. Roughly 25% to 30% of all aggravated assault in California occurs within LA. And these crimes often leave communities without closure, as nearly 1/3 cases remain unresolved. Donna and I are part of this community. In 2024, we lost a friend due to an unprovoked assault in Los Angeles. The offender fled the scene and was never caught due to lack of evidence. Our wish is just something to change that would enhance the safety for people of LA, change that would ensure justice for people who deserve it the most. Thank you.
No, thank you, Mr. Acabano.
Next speaker. Good morning. What would you like to speak to?
Good morning. I would like to speak on general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Donna So, and I'm here to speak on an issue that concerns me as a citizen of Los Angeles. While LAPD data shows a recent 9% decrease in aggravated assaults, these incidents remain a primary driver for violence in LA. Currently, programs like the Office of Violence Prevention focus on long-term support. However, many assaults escalate instantly due to stress or crisis. We need to expand unarmed, rapid response teams that can intervene in minutes, not the 24 to 48 hour currently provided by follow-up services. Furthermore, we lack clear public data on clearance rates for aggravated assaults. Without this transparency, we cannot measure the effectiveness of our response. I call on the city to increase investment in immediate de-escalation teams and publish specific case outcomes for non-fatal assaults. To reduce violence, we must prioritize faster response and greater accountability. Thank you.
Before the next speaker begins, I'll call up a few more names. Brandon Atielano, JT Parr, Ty Foreman, and Kaylee Kingery.
Good morning. What would you like to speak to?
Yeah, good morning. Item 10 and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Item 10, I am for item 10. That's it. General public comment. Why don't you get your damn kiosks prepared before 9:30? I come in here at 9:30 to use the kiosk and it's not ready. It's not working right. You ought to do something about that shit.
Tell him, Sean. Tell them, Sean, they can't even get their asses ready, but they back there having that coffee you paid for, and them bagels and donuts you paid for.
Joe Donlin
Sean?
speaking on items 7, 28, and general public comment.
Okay, so item 7's not
Tell
open
him,
for public
Sean.
comment, but you can speak to it during general. So you'll have 1 minute for item 28
Lazy
and 1 minute for
fucks.
general public comment. Go
DEI
ahead.
dummies.
Good morning, council members. Joe Donlin,
Better
Director
give
of
it
the
here.
United to House LA Coalition. Item 7 before you today addresses the next 2 rounds of ULA funding for the income support program for low-income seniors and people with disabilities. Nearly $60 million of direct financial assistance from ULA to the community members most vulnerable to becoming unhoused because of fixed incomes. The next immediate round of ULA income support funding will total $14 million and will prioritize households hurt by last year's wildfires and the ongoing ice raids. Essential resources provided by ULA for the Angelenos affected by the most traumatic events in our recent history. Council members, regarding item 28, if approved, the United to House LA Coalition looks forward to what we assume and hope will be a thorough, data-driven process, not predicated on one highly speculative and dubious report, or as importantly, the complaints of the very folks who don't want to pay the tax that almost 60% of Angelenos approved. The United to House LA Coalition remains and always has been relentlessly committed to building as much affordable housing as possible for Angelenos and to optimizing ULA toward that end. We're open, but let's ensure that the context for any process or attempt to amend is clear. Market behavior, including in the LA city housing market, is driven by analysis of what's ahead and certainty. This citizen-led initiative has never lived a day in which a rational developer wouldn't pause or hold fire in light of the constant threat and signal that it might go away or change. In other words, detractors have created their own self-fulfilling prophecy, and that compromises every bit of data we've seen so far. So we hope that this committee does not exacerbate or feed that by assuming what it's going to attempt to do in advance based on external narratives generated and perpetuated by those whose profit interests are actually at play. Lastly, let's remember that not a single report from city agencies has been requested to the City Council to evaluate whether Measure ULA has had any measurable impact on market rate housing production. Thank you.
Morning, Augie. I don't know if she's got her apology. Probably not.
Good morning.
No,
What would you like to speak to?
It's just general public
Oh,
comment.
is this the guy that was in
So you
jail?
have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I think so.
Yeah, pretty much. I just want to bring up the issues on LA 28, and if we are really ready.
No, we're not.
I know there's a lot of jobs to be created. Working at, Working at where they collect clothes and they clean them for the companies. I can't remember the name right now. Cintas. Working for Cintas. They always told me, well, the general manager always said to me, here at Cintas, what makes us a better company or corporation is that we create new jobs on hand. So what I'm trying to say is, let's get ready for LA 28. Let's clean some roads, clean some trash cans. I know Gavin Newsom cleaned up the streets right away in 2024.
Yeah.
When I moved back here from the state of Minnesota.
Sure.
But yeah, you guys are doing a good job. I just want to say thank you, and that's it.
Thanks, man, for coming in.
Before the next speaker begins, I'll call up Andrew Grabner, Lara FM, Jumbo Shrimp, and Audit LA.
Jumbo Shrimp.
Good morning.
Where
What would
the
you like
fuck
to speak
is
to?
Jumbo Shrimp
General
at?
public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
What up, council? So we're giving our friend the best day ever, and we wanted to start by ripping some karaoke, but it's a Wednesday, so all the karaoke places were closed. So we thought, the
that's the
council's a
surfer
place
guy.
of free speech and joy, so I'm going to rip my song here. My first song is Guess by...
Well, you're welcome to sing. It needs to, so this is an opportunity for you to provide public comment and request to this body. So if it's just a karaoke song, it's not appropriate for general public comment.
But this is like an expression of joy to
I understand, but we have to apply the rules equally. So would you like to provide
General
public
public
comment via song? If not, if it's just karaoke, we're gonna have to move on to the next speaker.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. You want to guess the color of my underwear. You want to know what I got going on down there. Is it pretty in pink or all see-through?
So again, I need you you need to connect it to something that's within the jurisdiction of this body, or we're gonna have to move on to the next speaker.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Shouldn't have said it. You should have just sang it.
I just think Coachella should be in LA. So you want to put them in your mouth, pull them all down.
So thank you. We've warned you already. Your time has expired. Appreciate you trying to spread joy, but we have to apply the rules equally for public comment to everybody. Next speaker.
I think Coachella should be in LA. Oh, how do you follow that up, girl? That's a tough act to follow. No,
Good
she's
morning.
laughing.
What would
Look
you
at her
like to speak
face.
to?
Look at her face. She's laughing.
Good morning. I'm just continuing the message of joy.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you on that.
I'm just continuing the message of joy to the city council members.
Got it. So same rules apply. If you'd like to provide public comment and can connect it to something within the jurisdiction of the city, you can. Go ahead.
Okay, there are worse things I could do than go have a drink or two. Even though the neighborhood thinks I'm trashy and no good, I suppose it could be true, but there are worse things I could do. I could flirt with all
Okay,
the
so
guys.
same. I need you to connect it to something, otherwise we're going to move on to the next
Oh,
phase.
I'm getting there. Smile at them and bat my eyes. Press against them when we dance. Make them think they stand a chance.
Okay, thank you. We're going to have to move on to the next speaker. Your time has expired.
Thank
next
you
speaker.
so much for your time.
Thank you so much for you coming down here and singing for 12 seconds for us.
What up, council? My name is JT Parr, and I am a concerned citizen. I'm here because last week this council voted to ban the N-word and the C-word from official city communication.
This was a long time ago.
And I support that decision. We all know you've had to sit up here and listen to that one weird guy use those words way too many times.
Herman?
It was too much.
Herman?
But this is a big but. History tells us that once you start banning words, you don't stop. You're already here today banning karaoke. I heard you do that. It's real. So yesterday it was the N-word, today it's karaoke, then someday it's the D-word.
Democrat?
Every authoritarian regime in history started with we're just banning the bad words, but then you're banning books, then ideas. Then some dude named Derek is on the council, and he just starts banning a bunch of stuff because of the precedent that you set. And here's the scary part. One day someone's going to have a solution for housing and transportation and all this stuff we can't fix, but they won't be able to use the words they need
Speaker, your
to
time
fix
has
it because they've
expired.
been
Next speaker.
banned.
What an idiot. These people are just increasingly more dumb. I'm sorry. Okay, over, under, any of the or or any of the fucking noises he makes. Over, under, to. Jesus Christ, we're getting worse. We're getting worse, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't think that could happen.
Good morning. What would you like to speak to?
All items in general public.
yes, he's right.
Okay,
but
so you have 3 minutes for the
that's
items.
not
and
the
1
way you
minute for general.
deliver
Go
it.
ahead.
So 12 is a motion. So basically, you've got all these 3 minutes.
So, sorry. Yes, he has 3 minutes for the items and then 1 minute for general.
So item 12. So you've got all these lawsuits with you violating people's rights. People are getting injured. People are getting killed. So your new strategy, instead of trying to avoid having those lawsuits in the first place by not having people's rights being violated, not having LAPD shooting and killing people left and
They're
right,
all together, by
not
the way.
having
Look at them all leave.
injuries on sidewalks. Instead, your solution is to retaliate against people who file lawsuits.
Sorry, there's only one. Sorry.
So, and that opens you up to new legal liabilities. So instead of trying to avoid the lawsuits in the first place by maybe, say, defunding the LAPD, by fixing the sidewalks, by making sure people's rights are protected, you're instead going to retaliate against people who file lawsuits. So, wow, what a joke. Just what a mess. So item 16 is you're going to destroy RVs that unhoused people use for shelter and such. Instead of giving them housing and services and such, you're going to destroy their RVs, then they're going to be out on the streets with no protection, and then you're going to harm and criminalize them even more with 4118. So, yeah. Let's move on to item, let's see. We've got item 23. I was going to come back to 23.
That was close.
Let's go to 25. So 25 would be providing supplemental city services for the U.S. Women's Open Championship. you should hold this item and not provide any city services until the U.S. Golf Association reverses their discriminatory anti-trans policies. So until that happens, you should not be providing any city resources, any city services to an event that openly discriminates against trans people.
Sir, if the trans people want to play golf because they're men, not women, no matter how many dresses they put on and how much makeup they wear, they're always and always will be a man. They can go play in the PGA with the men, but they won't, Andrew. You know why? You know why, Andrew? Because they'll have their ass handed to them. So what do? They play against the ladies who are a little easier for them to play against and dominate them. That's why they do that, Mr. Trans Warrior. So no, keep the men out of women's sports, Andrew.
And even when that
There's
happens,
two.
even when they reverse that policy, no, sir, no money should be going to policing. So
that's almost 3.
We have item 23. So item 23 would ban LAPD from also being ICE agents. So this is good. This is a good first step. You also should make sure that the LAPD isn't effectively acting as ICE agents while on duty as LAPD by assisting and aiding and abetting in ICE kidnappings, providing traffic control, arresting people who protest ICE, the fact that LAPD is under numerous restraining orders, court injunctions, things like that.
General public comment?
For repeatedly attacking the press, for being violent at protests, and then they don't even follow those restraining orders and injunctions. And you got MAGA McDonald crying continuously that they're being forced to actually protect people's rights, to not brutalize the press just for reporting, things like that. And none of you will say or do anything about it whatsoever. You have the power to fire Jim McDonald. If you do it, it's permanent. It's final. And for some reason, you all are cowards and refuse to do it. And I don't know why. I don't know what the
You just
holdup
told them
is.
why, because they're
The
cowards.
progressives or whatever aren't even paying attention to public comment. And you could introduce a motion to fire Jim McDonald. You could do it today. And it could be heard next week, or I guess 2 weeks, you're on recess. But you won't do it, I guess. Hugo, repeal your 4118 zone.
There's 5.
Next speaker.
And just to let you know, Andrew, we've curbed you of all the and the ums. We've curbed you of that. You can thank Smoke and Scan for that. We, as a community, as a group, have curbed you from saying that. And sooner or later, we're going to curb you from the 2. So you're welcome.
Oh,
Yes, we can hear you. Good
Can you
morning.
hear me?
So 3 minutes
Audit
for the
LA.
items and 1 minute for general.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
sir. Okay, I want to start with number 1. I hear a lot of people coming here asking for free stuff, right?
All the
give
time.
Us, give me.
That's it.
Whatever. I hear a lot
Demand
of
it.
that. Well, I
Demand
am
it.
now, for my first time, going to ask for something for free. Okay, and
Let's
I
see.
hope Smoke and Scan doesn't get mad at me for this.
I'm not.
But
Let's go.
what about we get free rides, okay, to intensive care units, okay? Because you're trying to increase the rates for advanced life support and mileage. So, you have somebody, oh, I think you're having a heart attack. Do you want to go to the hospital? No, I can't afford it. I can't afford the advanced life care transit to the hospital. So, no, I'm good. Come on. And then a few weeks ago, it was you wanted to get the people, who fell out of bed, like seniors, you want to charge them. Are we so desperate for money
Yes.
that we have to get people to charge extra
Yes.
if they need to go to the ICU? Are we really
Okay,
becoming
so you've
that
exhausted
city?
your 1 minute on item 1.
That's how they help
Okay,
themselves out of the
and
hole.
The next one I wanted to talk
Tax you.
about is
They can spend that money like shit, like they did the first side of money. The big
I had it on my
lump.
thing. Sorry. Thank you. Let me talk about the RVs. okay? Like, thank you so much. Like the RVs, okay? Like, yes, I know there's a lot of issues with those. But again, I'm always encouraging the city to get outside help. Like the Dodgers should pay for the Dodgers. Why not get, like outside entities that can come, like I kind of thinking like, those shows like Pimp My Ride or whatever, and like regenerate these RVs and find property where they can be put on, where people help with the housing. I see a lot of things here for housing, and it's just like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like anything's ever getting done. And it's just, we're shuffling people around. Okay, take their RV, then where they're going to end up? On the street, then what? So why don't we come up with real solutions and ask outside entities to help us with our solutions? And Mr. Lee still owes me an apology for the record. I don't know. I'm just going to talk about, let me switch to, because I lost my
General?
pictures.
Okay.
To
You have 1
general.
minute for general. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to talk to Mr. Curran Price and everybody, because I know I can't just do him. But Mr. Price, I think you were hornswoggled by the call to Scientology, because they got your office to go along with them to close every street around the shrine, including the sidewalks, and make it local only, where Scientologists were the ones checking everyone's IDs to see if they belong there. The funny part is, though, and the city attorney's office can say this for a fact, that part 2, page 2 of those permits do not allow for any restriction of pedestrians unless it's an emergency. There was no emergency, okay, at all. And so it restricted my right to be able to go down there because they push everybody into the street. I'm not going to sit there in the street in a chair. And it prevented Ms. Laura FM here from trying to see her father. Please do not be tricked into working with Scientology to prevent the public from its rights, sir. Okay? We have a right to protest. It's peaceful. But they got you, doing something that is illegal, not right.
Before the next speaker begins, I'll call up a few more names. Seba, Smoke and Scan, Rachel Greenberg, Audit LA, Mel, Chad Kroger, and Ada Ashuri.
That's another smoking scan.
Good morning. What
Who
would you like
signed
to
up
speak
and
to?
smoking
General
scan in
public
there?
comment?
Who did
Okay,
it?
so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I want to echo Audit LA's last comment about the Shrine Auditorium. They just started closing down the streets all around the Shrine Auditorium when Scientology comes and does their yearly New Year's event. That happens every year, and it's been going. I know you guys, the whole city knows this at this point. When they do their New Year's event, never did they ever close down all the sidewalks and the streets around the Shrine Auditorium. That's been happening now the last 3 years. The reason they started doing that is because people like myself were trying to see if there was a glimpse where I could possibly see my father or my mother coming off one of their indentured servant buses, and I was able to see my dad. And because I was able to see my dad, I yelled for him. He couldn't look at me, couldn't speak to me. I had to scream from him across a sidewalk that was falsely closed. So this is why this is super important. This is how they are shutting family members away from their parents in Scientology. So don't give them any street closure whatsoever for the Shrine Auditorium this year.
Next speaker.
Good morning.
What would you like to speak to?
General public comment.
Perfect. You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
All right, awesome. God bless you guys. Thank you all for being here. I really wanted to make a mention immediately about some research that I've recently done. Council President Harris Dawson, I'm incredibly honored to be before you, especially
You suck his dick
gaining
already.
knowledge of your introduction of new educational programs to Los Angeles. That is absolutely incredible. My grandmother was an educator, and I'm currently focused on introducing programs that encourage ethnic American youth to be more viable for consistent.
It's great to see that your family were educators, and every other word is It sounds like Pat Sullivan from 450. Why is it that people think, especially the ones that talk and say they're so smart and educated, have to say every other fucking goddamn minute? I sit here for 5 fucking hours. I don't give you 2 ums in a row, and I don't have nothing written down. And I'm an
attainment and
idiot.
execution of the office of the presidency of the United States. I was fortunate enough to make a Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety commissioners meeting yesterday. Very interesting to learn how the government works and to further promote mobilization and activation of the incredible talent, young and old, in the city. God bless you all, and you guys have a good day.
Sir, you need to sit down with your educator, grandmother, whoever it was, and get some more lessons.
General
We
comment?
need
Good
that.
morning.
We need that.
You have 1 minute. Go ahead.
This comment is for the council members as well as the LAPD officers who are here, so I hope you're paying attention. You seriously need to get outside legal opinions because whatever you're being told by the city attorneys and the police union lawyers is no good. These advisors seem to have fallen into the trap of following the instructions of trusted superiors without questioning or fully understanding those instructions. In other words, of not doing their jobs. When officers here enforce illegal rules to expel people, the officers themselves are in violation. When you automatically hold communications with lawyers as confidential, you are in violation. Hire some good outside lawyers yourselves and ask them to convince you that the Brown Act is being ignored. This police misconduct cannot be remedied through the civil process, but the district attorney seems equally hobbled.
3-inch shrimp? I don't know. He's not there today. Remember, he got a new job.
Good
he doesn't
morning.
show up as much. Either
would you like
does
to speak to?
Stacy.
I'd like to speak to item 23 and also
He goes to
general
school,
comment.
I think, too. Shrimp.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Good morning, council members. My name is Rachel Greenberg. I reside in North Hollywood in CD2. In reference to item 23, I support AB 1537. I believe LAPD should not be allowed to serve as ICE agents, since currently ICE agents engage in illegal acts.
Since when have they ever?
Knowingly detain people in illegal ways.
Stupid.
I would also like to be taken a step further. LAPD should not be collaborating or aiding them in any way with them while they're on duty, which they're doing as of now. I'll move on to general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Never seen them
Last
do
Friday,
anything for
community
ICE.
observers witnessed DHS delivering a fleet of 19 vehicles to the parking lot adjacent to the defunct post office at Van Nuys and Delano. This seems to be one of the first steps of DHS moving into the James C. Corman Federal Building in Van Nuys, which was previously reported by Wired magazine. DHS is also already active in the area, illegally detaining people going to their court hearings in that same plaza. People who need to access state, federal, and city resources or to comply with court orders are being forced to endanger themselves, especially now that that area is DHS's backyard and hunting ground. I ask the council to please agendize a discussion about this dangerous situation for our neighbors. In addition, I ask that the council members for the affected area and its neighboring districts, council members Padilla, Nazarian, and Rahman, meet with community members to create a plan that ensures our neighbors are aware of this danger and as protected as possible.
Yeah. We're always complaining about ICE. Oh, it's a robot lady. Didn't even notice.
Good morning. What would you like to speak to?
I'll speak on all items and general public comment.
Okay, so you'll have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
Item 11 is a corrupt conflict of interest waiver to retain a law firm. The appearance of such a corrupt item smells of filthy, sleazy, criminally insane Marquise Dawson. To vote yes on this conflict of interest is just something our corrupt government finds normal. A yes vote on this item is like allowing indicted criminal Kern Price to sit there voting
We'll
while
see, Billy.
out on
I ain't
bail
worried
and on
about it.
trial for voting on his wife's business with the city, and I protest both. Item 17, for more wasted public funds for police litigation, and I demand a no vote instead of wasting our public funds on the defense of the police after they have brutalized or murdered a member of the public. These funds should be used in the service of the people in this item number 17. The pathetic, corrupt, and incompetent city council president's CD8 district is a food desert with the highest unemployment rate in the entire country. But Marquise Dawson is bringing forth this motion, along with the other professional Uncle Tom's Price and Poverty, Heather Hutt, for the defense of ongoing police brutality on the black community by the LAPD.
Poverty pimp.
Item 19 is more corruption and hypocrisy by mixing the subjects of golf courses and high fire zones with affordable housing. This item stinks of Marquise Dawson indicted Karen Price and Bob Genocide Bloomfield. In my opinion, this item should have altered wording that includes an investigation of why this incompetent sleazy council with sleazy Marquise Dawson and Karen Bass did absolutely nothing while our city burned 16,000 structures. Item 19 through 22 is for so-called establishing the city's position. What actually they do is absolutely nothing but fill out an already worthless do-nothing agenda because these incompetent council clowns have bankrupted the city with homelessness, the police, and catastrophic fires. Item 25 by Trailer Trash Racist Demon Tracy Park is for funding a golf tournament. This is the demon's solution to solving the 80,000 homeless, and no doubt has everything to do with item 19, another golf item. This is the stupid and corrupt manner in which Sleazy Dawson and demonic racist Tracy Park operate. Item 28 by this incompetent, corrupt Dawson is to form an ad hoc committee on Measure ULA for less than a month. This is to extract more money for himself. This item does not even say who will be members of this so-called ad hoc committee. Item 17 is for even more funds for outside legal, like the $7 million the city spent just to keep Karen Bass from testifying under oath. General public comment.
That's it.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go
Public,
ahead.
Marquise Dawson, CD8 is a food desert, the highest unemployment rate in the entire country, the highest homeless rate. Sleazy Dawson evicted the Afiba Center, the black community's 20-year-old community and culture center, and turned it into a COVID testing site with votes of Nithya Raman, Bob Gaza, Genocide Bloomfield. That is what they really think about black culture. Our city, state, and federal tax dollars are being used to drop bombs in yet another war for Israel, and I demand an immediate resolution from this criminal coward council that condemns yet another war against the Iranian people at the behest of Israel. We the people are starving while these council cowards are silent, while this government drops bombs for Israel and Bob Genocide Bloomfield. Here is a clown solution. Let's elect them with Nithya Raman, mayor, public.
Her right
when
here.
You hire clowns, you
That's
get a
the
circus.
dimwit.
Black history is world history.
Doesn't know her left from her right. Shout out to Robot Lady. Yes, Callie, there might be 12 of the 15
Before the
in
next
there, but
speaker
none of them are paying
begins, I'd just
attention.
like to say we have called all the names on the queue, but if you would still, if your name hasn't been called and you would still like to speak, please come forward.
Good morning. What would you like to speak to?
Good morning. I'm making general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
My name is Ida Shuri, and I'm speaking in a personal capacity. Right now, this country is engaged in a war abroad and here at home. The United States is engaged in an illegal war against my home country, Iran, and it's engaged as well as in illegal ICE raids on the people in this city, as well as engaged in an illegal war on the poor. The city is an active participant in all of these wars. The members of this sitting council has actually spoken out in support of this illegal war. One of the members is actually not even in his seat right now to listen to my public comment. The members of the city council have stood with the people supporting this illegal war and war crimes. And they continue to passively support anti-Muslim, anti-Palestine messaging from leadership and do nothing to rein in hate crimes that will increase in our city. By being a passive participant, you're an active participant by not stopping and doing anything to stop this sort of investment in these war crimes and in this genocide. This city can actively divest from genocide, and that's what it should do. Thank you.
Next speaker?
Yeah.
None? Okay, going once, going twice. So, Mr. President, I believe we've called all the names, and would you like to close public comment?
We should close public comment. All right, Mr. Clerk, what is before us at this time?
Mr. President, there's been a request to hold item number 28 on the desk for comments and amendment.
I don't like this guy. I want the
Soto
other guy
Martinez.
back, the fucking sassy snake.
President, my apologies for not
Smoke and
noting this at the top of the meeting.
Scan.
Item number 23, we'd like to move
Steve.
the substitute resolution.
All right.
Solace. Where's
So
the
what does
little?
that-
Where's
what
the
does that leave us to
sassy
split?
snake at?
The council may now vote on items 2, 3, 10, 11, 13 through 16, 18, 19, 22, 23, 25 through 27, and 29.
Yeah, it wasn't
All
a
right,
great
let's
meeting
open the roll
today.
on those items. Close the roll.
And the sucky part is Fridays are usually worse now because
15 ayes.
nobody wants to show up because it takes too long to even
All right, what's next?
be heard.
Mr. President, would you like to go into the closed session budget and finance items?
All right.
All right, if they go to closed session, that's it. We're done.
Madam Budget Chair, can you give us
Thank you,
guidance on
Council
these
President. Items 31 through 43 were considered by the Budget and Finance Committee on March 3rd. I recommend approval of these items.
All right. All right, Mr. Clerk, if you could read
Okay, Eddie
those
Munster.
the details into the record and call the roll. Or not call the roll, we'll open the roll.
Thank you, Mr. President. For item 31, in the case entitled Lady Escalante versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $350,000 in settlement. For item number 32, in the case entitled Lawrence Freddie Lee versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend
Eric.
up to $200,000 in settlement.
smoke
For item
with the
33, in the case entitled Gabriela Cardenas Garcia versus the City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $625,000 in settlement. For item 34, in the case entitled Huang Nguyen versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation
Sit
to expend up
sassy
to
snake.
$850,000 in settlement. For item number 35, in the case entitled Elmer Santos Vicente's son versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $450,000 in settlement. For item 36, in the case entitled Juan Mendoza versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to reject the plaintiff's offer of settlement. For item 37, in the case entitled Daniel Feldman versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $450,000 in settlement.
It's not a
For item
war
38, in the
fire.
case
They're just
entitled
getting
Amanda
bombed.
McCarthy versus City of Los Angeles et al.,
And all they could
there's
do is shoot a
recommendation to expend
hang
up to
glider the other way
$655,000 in
with some
settlement.
Home Depot rockets.
For item number
It's a big
39,
difference.
in the case entitled Connie
They're just getting
Nunez et al.
bombed.
For City of Los Angeles et al., there's a recommendation to expend up to $1,500,000 in settlement. For item number 40, in the case entitled Robert Bragg versus City of Los Angeles et al., there's a recommendation
saw the
to expend
warning
up
you
to
guys were talking about.
$1.7 million plus accrued interest and
$1.7
$20,000 and $439.53 for costs to pay the judgment. For item
1.7 million
41,
for
in
one
the case
person.
entitled City of Los Angeles versus New Apothecary Inc., there is a recommendation to accept $325,848.48 in settlement,
Can't even
inclusive
read
of
the
all
numbers.
accrued interest through the payment date and waive accrued penalties in the amount of $106,000, $443.20. For item 42, in the case entitled Lena Asudurian versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $990,000 in settlement. For item 43, in the case entitled Jennifer Ryan versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to approve the city attorney's recommendations.
I just saw that
All right,
FBI
let's open the
warning
roll.
you guys were talking
Close
about.
the roll. Tabulate the vote.
FBI warns Iran
15 ayes.
inspired to attack
All right, what's next?
California with
The
drones
council
in
may now move
retaliation.
on
For
to
you really
item
think their,
1 for an
their,
amendment
their
by
drones
Councilman
will get
Billy.
all the way here? I doubt
All
it.
right, that item
And even
has
if not, who
been
gives
amended.
a fuck?
Let's open the
Bomb
roll.
them 10x.
Close the roll. Tabulate the
Bomb them 10x. till
15
they're
ayes.
done. Make it
All right.
glass.
The council may now move on to item number
Then it's all
4,
done.
the
You don't have to
comments
worry about
and
no
amendments
drones.
by council members Hernandez and Rodriguez.
All right,
It's all they
Councilmember
understand
Rodriguez.
anyways. Killing. So kill.
Thank
That's all
you.
they understand.
Colleagues,
Bomb
back
'em.
in August of 23, I introduced this motion because as we continue to engage and confront issues around the mass corporatization of our
Mine's
housing
already
stock,
wrecked.
it has dire implications for how we adopt policy in mitigating tenant protections, but more importantly, for mom and pop landlords and for families that are trying to manage and
Yeah, it's
maintain
in the news.
generational wealth.
Art.
What we
The lying
actually
media
do when
getting you to
we see
fear.
the mass
I'm scared. There's going to be a
consolidation
drone
and
coming,
monopolization
just
of our
like a
housing
space
stock
rock that's
is
going to
what you
kill
see
me.
Is the inability for more and more families and many more of some of our
What
young
happened to the big
adults being
space
able
rock?
to achieve that first ever
What happened to that?
attempt at
It's all
homeownership.
gone. It went around the moon and around the sun and
As a
around
result
us
of
and
the
went back
Housing
home.
Department's
What happened?
investigation into helping to better identify and decipher the ownership models, because we know that there are tax incentives that help to, we cannot discern between the LLCs and how the tax structures are for the identification of the ownership models.
Shut
I
up,
introduced
Meg.
this motion to begin the work with the Housing Department so that we could better identify pathways going forward, so we could better delineate the ownership models to help inform our policy making. As a result, I want to thank Joe Montano for his thorough research in helping to develop a better insight as to how we're approaching this. And so in consultation with the Office of Finance and making some minor adjustments
it,
to the
Dodgers.
BTRC, we can begin tracking individuals
tell
that are
everybody, they're gonna
utilizing
get mad.
multiple
They're gonna
BTRCs
demand the
to help
space
better
rock
inform
be brought
and
back to
decipher
Earth.
the ownership and the concentrations of ownership of our housing stock. And so the amendments that I offer going forward is derived from the research that Joel and the housing department, and so we're starting to now develop a path forward to help better identify and discern the ownership models going forward. And my hope is that we can help better inform our policymaking so that we don't inadvertently continue to
Michael, because we make more money usually.
create greater impediments for smaller.
Let's just say we're both house painters, Michael. I probably make a few dollars more than you, and that's how.
Mass corporatization
That's
that we
how.
have seen, I know that I saw in the
It's really how it
aftermath of
works.
the 2008 recession, but more importantly, making sure that we are better informed as policymakers to not inadvertently create punitive environments for smaller owners. And so I
That's
ask
the only way we can survive because of the gas prices and everything else, the insurance,
Thank you so much,
the tax.
Councilmember Rodriguez. Councilmember Hernandez.
It's all going to come to a head because they need people like me. Oh, the fucking blimp is here. It's good to see she put it down her sandwich. And zip that shit up, girl. Nobody needs to see your 1 inch of fucking cleavage there. Nobody needs to see that. You might as well have two tits that are just stapled together at this point.
Across LA, large corporations and institutions.
Like, why show me that 1 inch of cleavage? It looks like an ass crack hanging out. That looks like your ass crack hanging out the other side. It really does.
Homes that should be places where people put
It's not
down
sexy.
roots,
Close,
raise their kids, and build generational
close that
wealth
shit up.
Are increasingly treated like commodities in an investment
Close it up.
portfolio. And let me be clear, this is not tenants versus
Let me
small
be clear.
landlords.
Zip it
in
up.
many cases, both are being squeezed by the same forces in today's housing market.
Leopards are
The real
extinct
question
now.
before us is whether we will allow corporations to continue consolidating our housing
Is that
stock,
cheetah or leopard?
whether
What
we
is
will
that?
stand up for our
Put it in the
families
chat room.
and communities that
We've
make the
already
city
got a
a
fight in
place
the
we
chat
know
room.
and
Cheetah or
love.
leopard?
My amendment simply asks that we study these trends. We also develop real policy options that protect renters, support small landlords, and preserve the dream of home ownership in Los Angeles. I urge your aye vote. Thank you.
Bro, you're really
Thank you so much,
down,
Councilmember
Jess.
Hernandez.
Holy shit.
Councilmember
You take
Nazarian.
that for the team? Dang.
Thank you, Council President.
Bro, you're down for the
first
team.
And foremost, thank you.
We
very
owe
much
you
to
one.
My colleague to my north, Councilwoman Rodriguez.
You haven't smelt
for
it
bringing
yet.
This important issue
You
up,
see it, but you ain't smelt it yet.
Bringing the conversation up on this issue.
Wait till you smell it.
You know, before I was even here, tells me that you were very much aligned on this issue
Leopard?
and are
It's leopard?
approaching it with the methodical way that it requires.
Cheater, Brit?
So thank you very much
Cheater.
for working on this.
Leopard?
I look forward to
Cheetah,
working in
cow,
concert with
leopard,
you on this.
cow, cheetah. You guys
Colleagues,
are all over the place.
The report before us today is an important step in helping the city better understand the growing role of institutional and corporate ownership in our housing market. This motion provides a foundation for understanding the trends towards organizational entity ownership of the city's rent stabilization ordinance stock and residential transfer sales. It also focuses on the largest and fastest growing owners and some of the business practices that may negatively impact small landlords, potential home buyers, and renters. This motion closely aligns with a motion I introduced in my first week in office that focuses specifically on protecting and expanding opportunities for single-family home ownership. These are separate efforts, but they are looking at different pieces of the same challenge, which is ensuring that Angelenos, especially first-time home buyers, can still access home ownership in an increasingly competitive market. The findings
Breaking
and
news,
policy
Iran
options
will
in
not
this
play in
report
LA's World
will
Cup.
also help inform the work that we are doing through my motion.
Sorry, guys.
And having both analysis
Can I say
will give
sorry?
the council a more complete understanding of this issue. This is why I support expanding the analysis to all 5 options recommended by LAHD, which the councilwoman is also pushing for.
Keep an eye right here above me.
Ultimately, advancing this report helps us move closer to the shared goal of preserving pathways to home ownership and
Up,
ensuring
up.
our housing market
Up.
works for residents,
Up.
not just the large investors.
That was a fresh
that
bomb
wanna
just
monopolize
dropped.
Los Angeles. Thank you very much, and I urge an aye vote.
And it's smoldering real quick.
Thank you
Like,
so much, Mr. Zarian. Mr. Lee.
hold on.
Thank you, Mr. President. Councilman Rodriguez, I want to thank you for putting this legislation.
We
putting
don't
this
care
forward
about you
before
guys.
us.
Just,
This is something.
I don't even care anymore. Hold on. Hold on. We're going to go back here a second. I just want to hear it. I want to hear the actual bomb drop. Come on. Can't be that far back. That far back? No way. Come on. There's no way it was that far back. Just happened. That's crazy. I know you just saw it happen. It can't be that far back. Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm just going back 10, 20, 30 seconds, 35, 40. There it is. Okay, hold on. Up, hold on. Boom. Can't hear it. Can't really hear. Oh, damn it. Fucking A, dude. Alright, let's go back. You can hear the drone, but you couldn't hear the blast. Oh, there it is. It's really light. You can hear that drone buzzing. No, this is not Iran. This is in Beirut. This is live in Beirut right now. Five Iranian women who look like men from the soccer team just got special visas for asylum here. I bet. Claiming diplomatic immunity and asylum. We need it. We're prisoners in our own country. I need to defect. Americans consider soccer third world. That's not true. There's a lot of kids and people that love soccer here. AYSO is huge. American Youth Soccer Organization. It's huge. Is it as big as in other countries? No. Why is it big in other countries? Right? Because a lot of countries are poor. Okay? So the kids don't have a choice. They can't just go buy a baseball glove and a bat and a ball and some cleats. It's very hard. That's why even in Dominican Republic, you notice the kids, they don't play with cleats. They don't even play with gloves a lot of the time. You know, they take cardboard from a box, cut it up and make a glove, a cardboard glove. Okay? That's how they start until they can afford a glove because it's expensive. Same thing with like ice hockey here. Why do you have a bunch of kids here playing roller hockey? Because it's very expensive to play ice hockey. Okay? It's expensive sport. So the sports that are expensive, golf, lots of sports are expensive. You usually have to wait till somebody gifts you something or you get older and can afford it. That's why soccer is popular. Because all you need is a fucking ball to kick around. And you don't even need that. You can just get a whole bunch of scotch tape and make a ball out of it and kick it around, and you've got a soccer ball, and get 2 trash cans, and if it goes between the 2 trash cans, you've got a goal. That's why. Simple and easy. This is not dissing anybody. That's why soccer is huge across the world. It takes almost nothing to play. And you can play it by yourself. Baseball, can't play baseball myself. Basketball, I guess I could just shoot around. But soccer, I could sit there and kick a ball around that I've got all by myself all day long against a wall or against my feet or knees. Yeah. Empty can will be your goal. That's what I'm saying. It's simple and easy. You don't have to get all that stuff, and that's why soccer is the easiest. That's it. And it's the biggest. I hear that drone coming back. Here it comes again. Coming back. Yeah, I mean, because BJ has to deal with the major four sports. They have a chokehold on everything, right? NBA, NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball. They have a real chokehold on us. That's why NASCAR and all these other big sports that are here, they just get the crumbs. That's it. It's really tough to break your way in here. I mean, they're trying to do it with these little soccer teams, and they have. It's much more soccer than there was 20 years ago in LA. I'll tell you that. Right? We didn't have the Galaxy and all the other shit, or maybe 25 years ago. I don't know. But at least if I wanted to go watch a soccer game, there's a few choices to watch professional soccer here in LA. Now you got World Cup coming. I'm sure that helps out. People that like soccer will go watch it, or football. NBA has fallen. Sure, as much as all of these sports have fallen, they're still on top. Much as they have fallen, I'll agree. They're still on top. They still are ruling the roost. You love soccer? Yeah, I have a lot of friends. My friend Aaron, he grew up playing soccer. It's like everything he did. In fact, he didn't go to high school with us because he went to another high school so he could play soccer and try to do it professionally. So, yeah, there is plenty of people that enjoy the game of soccer. I personally don't. I just think it's fucking boring. There's too many players. The pitch is too big. There's too much in between with nothing happening. The ball is going 10 feet that way, 20 feet that way, 10 feet this way, 20 feet that way. No shots on goal, no nothing. Like, it's just boring. And a game should never be 90 minutes and end in a fucking tie. Ever. 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 And see, the NHL learned that. The NHL said, how can we make it more exciting and not have ties? Let's have a shootout after overtime. Soccer has the same time, right? They have that stop time. Like, you played your 90 minutes. Oh, you had 6 minutes of stop time. Give them 6 more minutes. So they'll play 6 minutes. Then if nothing happens, it ends in a tie. It should never do that. That's when it should go to the shootout. Because what's the most exciting part about soccer? Them scoring. Just like anything else, any other sport, the scoring is what pushes the sport. Now, penalty shots are even more exciting in soccer, and I hate soccer. I cannot stand it. I don't give a fuck about it. My friends have said, hey, you want to come? I don't care. I don't really want to go. No, I don't. I don't care. It's boring to me. And I love sports. So if you went to a fucking shootout after and determined that way, it would be much more exciting, and you'd get rid of the ties. And you'd maybe gain a few people. Maybe, just maybe. Just maybe. I mean, I know it's a crazy thought. But scoring sells. As much as defense may win championships sometimes, scoring is what sells the sport. Okay? People don't give a fuck about the interception. They like a pick six every once in a while. I'll give you that. But what sells is the big bomb down the field for 40 yards and then the touchdown. That's what makes everybody go crazy. Because the pick six, that isn't happening as much. Let's be honest with that. MLS was founded 33 years ago, fastest growing league. Sports was number one. Hispanic community loves football. Yeah. No, I mean, tell me something I don't know. But again, as much as they've grown and as much as the popularity has grown, they're still playing second fiddle to the top four. They will never, ever be bigger than the top four sports. Okay? NHL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and football. NFL. They will never, ever, ever in the history of sports and ever be bigger than those 4 sports. Ever. In this country. It won't happen. Unless one of those leagues goes down. If the whole league goes down, which I highly doubt's ever going to happen, then maybe it'll slide right in. But I doubt it. I mean, it's even the same in sports, like sports cards. People love soccer cards. Soccer cards sell for a lot of money, but they don't sell for anything near what baseball sells for or anything else. And you got to say to yourself, soccer cards should be going everywhere. And they do, across the world. But again, a lot of people don't have the funds across the world who love soccer to buy these cards. So again, we're back where our little pool is of the haves and the kind of have-nots in a sense. And that's another reason why soccer's big everywhere, because it doesn't take money to play it. Yeah, I agree, Sinful. It's just how it is. Crosby, Raider for life. Now, he'll be gone by the end of the week, Pixel. He'll either be a Cowboy, maybe even a Ram. They're talking about him coming to the Rams, maybe. But after him failing the physical, that's not going to help him. Because that's not the Ravens really backing out. That's Ravens backing out because it's damaged goods. They saw something they didn't like. And obviously the Raiders weren't telling them, yeah, man, take him. He's good. Give us just 2 first. You can have him. Really? Yeah. Just take him. Yeah, you're good. Now you see why they moved him. Skateboarding is struggling. I couldn't imagine wanting people to watch it kick a ball. Oh, yeah. I mean, skateboarding is just not a sport. And look, again, skateboarding is more mainstream than it ever has been. We never had the X Games when I was a kid skateboarding. That just wasn't even a thing. It's an Olympic sport? No fucking way. So it's done a lot for itself. But again, it's as big as skateboarding is, it just won't compete with the major 4 sports as a sport. It just won't do it. And again, skateboarding, that's something that people do across the world more easily because it's more expensive to buy a bike. To get the BMX bike is more expensive. Okay? Skateboard, I don't have to go get an expensive skateboard. $200 and I can have a brand new, everything's brand new skateboard. And the cool thing about skaters is there's a lot of older skaters who see the young skaters who can't afford something, so they'll hook them up with a brand new deck or something like that. They might have some old trucks, some old wheels, you know what I mean? But they have a brand new deck now thanks to the community. Because skateboarders, they mostly, for the most part, support each other. They really do. Especially the older skaters, the ones who didn't have a whole lot when they were growing up, because usually skaters don't have a whole lot for the most part. They're the kids eating Taco Bell, right, with the ripped clothes and the $100 skateboard, and you're ready to go. You don't need the $500 GT with the fucking bike lock and the Protec helmet. And you don't need all that. No, skateboarding's all the time. Skateboarding's still now, Gail. It's huge, skateboarding. Come on. You never had X Games in the 70s. You never saw the Olympic skateboarding events in the 70s. You never saw that. But you do now. Well, I think, Johnny, with skateboarding as a whole, though, it's kind of cyclical. It's just like biking. Biking and skateboarding were hot when I was a kid. You were either doing both or one or the other. And then it kind of faded out. You get older. Kids get older. You know what I mean? So they're not riding their skateboard as much unless they're really dedicated to it, or their bike as much, or the bikers kind of change bikes. They go from the BMX to the mountain bike because they like enjoying mountain biking now, or they like getting a road bike and fucking 300-mile fucking ride 150 miles each way. So I think that's kind of how it is. In skateboarding, it doesn't evolve like that as much, I don't think. You just maybe evolve on what you're skating on, whether it's vert or street, things like that. So I think they're a bit different. No, I know, Beej, as I said, yeah, he'll either be there in Dallas or he might be in L.A. Who knows? You didn't miss much today, Dodger D. Wasn't so great. Yes, sir, I have 20 new decks. 10 of them are for the kids And that's it. See, that's what I'm saying. See, so I was right. You didn't say that before I said it, right? And that's what I'm saying. It's your kindness knowing that these kids, keeps them out of trouble and they have so much fun doing it. Yeah. It's social. You know what I mean? Keeps them in good shape instead of sitting at home playing fucking Roblox on the Xbox. Right? So there's a lot of good to it. Skateboarding. Now, I mean, the community sometimes doesn't like it. It's annoying having 10 skaters out front of your house skating for fucking 2 hours session. I get it too. But, yeah. I just think those are the differences, and that's why some sports are further ahead than the others. That's all. And again, who has the money to give away bikes? You don't. Bikes are expensive. Even pieces to bikes, pedals, handlebars, grips, all that shit's pricey. Skateboards, $200. You can get a brand new everything for $200. All of it, the whole board. I don't think you're buying any nice bike for $200. Nothing. I don't even think you're getting a Huffy. Like at Walmart, I bet you they're more than $200 for a Huffy, I bet. Someone was telling me, by the way, they're selling new Huffies. I mean, old Huffies that never were opened in the box for like $50,000. Like a BMX style Huffy never opened out of the box. 50 G's. That's crazy. Could you imagine how much like a GT Performer is brand new in the box? Like an original old stock. Not some new shit that GT's putting out now. Like a 1986 GT Performer or whatever. In the box, never used. Could you imagine? So much money. Well, Huffy wasn't a big brand. Huffy was a cheaper brand part. I had a Huffy. Shit, I think we got it at Toys R Us. It's the same shit as Sears. Huffy's Huffy. That was the first bike I got, was a black and gold Huffy. And then I got my parents could finally afford to get something nicer for me later on for a birthday like 5 years later, and I got a Diamondback. A Silver Streak Diamondback. Which again, is not really a high-end bike, but it was nice. I mean, I loved it. I love that bike. Diamondbacks are good bikes. They're not Redlines or GTs or Haros. They're not that high end, but they're nice. They make a good bike, Diamondback. So, yeah. You can find some Huffies for a bill, but they're all shit. But they're all that shit is expensive. Yeah, no, for sure. Have a GT BMX bikes, paid $50 at a pawn shop for it. Spent like $500 in parts. Yeah, there's a guy I used to watch on YouTube. He does that. Finds these old bikes, pulls off all the garbage that people put on them that aren't original, and then puts it back to all original. Felt BMX? I don't remember that. You collect old school BMX, Joseph? Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of money in it, especially now. The kids, like I said, people like me who couldn't afford that can now go and buy that bike and enjoy it. And live a little bit of nostalgia again. So I think that's what's happening with those kinds of things. I remember the mushroom grips. I had the mushroom ones. Those were the popular ones at the time. Good old mushroom grips. You bought your son the same Diamondback? Shit, yeah. Yeah, it was a popular bike. I had a few friends that had the gray Silver Streak, and I didn't get that one. I got the chrome Silver Streak, because they made two colors. I had the black mags, like those plastic mags. Silver. It was a pretty nice little bike. I enjoyed it until it got stolen. It was like a cursed bike. I told you guys about the story. I went to the mall and I came back down to get the bike, go home, and somebody put a lock on the bike, so I couldn't take it. So I'm sitting there calling the security guards, like, what's going on? What can we do? Can we do anything? Can we call somebody to cut the lock off? And next thing you know, this dude comes out with his son, says that I stole the bike and it's their bike. Because apparently his son had his bike stolen. It was the same exact color and everything, same model bike. And I said, man, we can go right down the street. The bike shop's 4 blocks away from here. We can read the number on the bottom of the bike, and I can prove that's my bike and not yours. So finally, they took the lock off the bike with the security there. We flipped the bike over, because, you know, underneath the crank, there's that little, they put the numbers on the, so he read it off because they actually had the paperwork for their bike. They had their paperwork. And he's like, oh, shit, it's not your bike. He's telling his son, I'm sorry, man, I didn't mean, you know, we thought it was yours, but yeah, you fucking asshole. So they let me go. Of course, I went home and I was all pissed and sad and like, fuck. And that was like 2 hours of them doing that shit to me. But I mean, I guess I get it. But yeah, thieves are the worst. So that's the problem with bikes, you know, they're always so stolen. I mean, not to say they wouldn't steal, what do you call it? We'd put our skateboards in your locker, and then they'd break into your locker and take your skateboard. That happened too. Ugh. You had a BMX, always wanted a blue mongoose. You can get a blue mongoose now. Yeah, 2 Diamondbacks and a GT. He was balling. Yeah, my friend Aaron, the guy who actually played the soccer, he was like the bike kid. He had everything. He had a red line, he had the fucking PK Ripper. He had all that shit, dude. He always had a good, nice bike. Always. You know. Kryptonic lock. Yeah, that's what it was. The little U-locks that you couldn't, like, get through. It was hard to get through. I mean, not to say, of course, you couldn't get through them. Of course you could, but I'm fucking like 12 years old. I'm not going to bring a hacksaw and start trying to cut my bike out of there in the mall. And Homeboy's dad owned a business in the mall. So I get it. I guess the kid had the bike there and they stole it there and they thought, oh, okay, well, the idiot who stole it came back here with it. So, yeah, that wasn't the case. A mini mongoose. Yeah, one of my neighbors had a mongoose. We'd go riding. I remember it. Had those like cobweb kind of rims on it. Like a weird, it was a mag style wheel, but it was just like looked like cobweb or something, just from what I remember. Not new in the box though, Joseph. One of them sold new in box for big money. Never opened. And that's what I'm saying. Could you imagine what a GT Performer new in box, never opened? Actual, real, not fucked up, no cheating, no knockoff from China, real bike. New old stock from like 87. Could you imagine with that box and with a good condition on the box too? Dude, it'd be worth so much money. So much money, because you can't find that. You can find a bunch of these bikes. You can find them in good condition. You can find them rebuilt. You can find them in old, fucked up shape. But you can't find them brand new in the box. You just can't. It was like that Super Mario Brothers game that sold for like, I don't know, was it a fucking $100,000 or something for one Super Mario just brand new in the box? Because you can't find it brand new in the box. And that's the difference. Keeping it in the box in perfect shape. You have 360 bikes in your collection? Holy fuck. You must have a huge garage or a big ass house, Joseph. Like, how do you, maybe just hook them from the ceiling, I guess, and use that space so they're not all on the ground? 360 bikes. God damn. That's a lot. That's a big collection, dude. That's cool. I'm sure it's taken you a while to amass it. I have 40 plus 80s BMX bikes saved from my local dumps and flea markets. See, there you go, Brian. Joseph, there you go. Brian's trying to catch up to you. You got a while to go, Brian. Only 320 more. just to tie him. Just to tie him. You have 60 something in box dead stock. Dang, of like high end bikes. Those things have to be worth fucking 50 grand or something, right? It's gotta be worth 20 to 50 grand. They have to. I would assume. You can't find that shit. Some bike museum's gonna come jack you. They want all your shit. I have 83 Mongoose probe blocks in a new in box. Damn, that's crazy. 83 Mongooses. See, now that's like a bike shop going out of business and you just bought the dead stock off of them. It's gotta be what's happened there. There's no way you just decided to find out and search for 83 different Mongooses and you'd snap them up one by one. I don't believe that. I think you saw a store going out of business. They bro, I'll buy all your stock from you. And he said, sure, fuck, I'll take it. I'll give you 10% off. 20, take it all. That's wild though. 83 of just one bike. Like, what's that? Okay, well, what's one of the 83 in a box worth? I need to know now. What's one? If you were legitimately gonna sell it, what does that bike go for? In the box, I need to know. Is it 5,000 a piece? Is homeboy sending in fucking the coordinates on his little computer? What's up, Wes? I buy and hoard BMX and collectibles. Yeah. Fell off a truck in 85. 83 of them? Bro, that's the whole truck. 83 bicycles? Come on, bro. You know how many boxes that is? That's 83 boxes. That's a lot of boxes. That's your whole entire living room plus. Stacked to the ceiling. Wall to wall. That's a lot of bikes. So I said, you got to have a big-ass house for some shit like that. You can't. Hopefully it doesn't have storage. That's the worst, paying for storage. Just stuff you're just sitting there on. Yeah. Ooh. I know you heard that. I don't see any tracer rounds, but that was definitely some gunfire. They're 8,000 each. Holy smokes. So you have well over $500,000 in just mongoose. Makes sense. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. So if it's 8,000 for a mongoose, it's got to be 25 or more for a GT performer. Starting to fight again. Schwinn bikes for the win? Yeah, I never had a Schwinn. The rare models bring huge bucks like baseball cards. Yeah, I'm sure. There's definitely models that were made, you know, a lesser run of, or maybe they weren't popular then and they were sent back, you know, to the factory because they weren't selling. And now everybody wants those, the ones that nobody wanted. That's how it was with 86 Fleer basketball, with Michael Jordan rookies and all that. The cards came out. They tried to sell them. Nobody fucking wanted them, dude. So people were sending them back to Fleer for money. They'd give you a rebate. And they'd put a little black slash or an X on the box and then sell them like, you know, another way out the back door at a discount to try to recoup the money for the paper and all that. And now those boxes are $250,000 a box. Back then, they were getting like a $6 credit in 1986 for them. Oh, boy. Yeah. Sometimes things change. Schwinn Varsity 10-speed big bike. Yeah, I'm sure even 10 speeds are stuff probably. I mean, any of that stuff's old. It's anything that's older, that's built usually for kids, is worth money later on, no matter what it is. Even though they make a ton of them, they're not rare in that sense, but they become rare. Why? Because everybody rips the box up, so the boxes are all gone. Then they get on the bike and they damage the bike slowly throughout years. They ghost ride the bike. They do all kinds of shit, and slowly they all die off. They all get broken up and beat up. So there's now no old new stock, except for like Joseph and people like that find, rare, collections or whatever. And that's really what it boils down to, the rarity of being able to find it in the box. That's the rarity of it. Traded your Reese's Pieces for a box? Okay. Only for a bike? Diamondback great bikes. They were good. I mean, I liked it. I had one. I don't think they were the top of the line, I wouldn't say, Diamondback, but I would say they're good bikes for sure. Without a doubt. They're selling them at bike stores. They're not selling them at Walmart or, Sears or Toys R Us, which all have bikes. Right? They're just not selling those. It's a little higher end, a little more higher end. But I would say in the scheme of things, if we went to a bike store, that Diamondback would probably be your more affordable. I'd say it's on the tier of Mongoose. I would say it was like Mongoose, Diamondback are the same. And then you had your PK Rippers, your Redlines, your GT, your Haro, your Skyway or Skylines. Like all those were higher end. Cook's Brothers, those were all higher end bikes than the Diamondback and the Mongooses, which were still good bikes. What's up, Ed? And see, and that's what I mean. Price difference is big. Skateboards, it's not really that way. A deck is a deck, really. Just what graphic did you like? Did you like the shape of the deck? And everybody usually used the same trucks, independent trucks, right? So then it was just your choice of wheel. Do you want a harder wheel or a softer wheel? So, yeah. Yeah. What's up, Lori? How are you? The Huffy with the plastic mag. I had a Huffy, but no plastic mags. It had the regular spoke trim. Had like a gold rim. That was like the whole thing. It was like a black and gold theme. Whereas the black bike with gold rims. So I remember it had like these little checkerboard on the handlebar, like that foam they put on the handlebar in case you go forward to hit it. So yeah, it was a fun little bike. As a kid, I was excited to get it. So those are all nice bikes, Sean. Especially the red line and the GTs. The red lines are really expensive. A lot of my friends at PK Rippers too. They seem to like the PK Ripper. Is it really the Cooks Brothers? My neighbor had one, Joseph. I remember his name was Yuri. He was a little Russian kid. And he bought it by making nunchucks. Remember nunchucks? Like, at that time, fucking Bruce Lee and shit was like a big thing. So him and his family moved here from Russia. And this dude was sitting here making nunchucks in his house and selling them on the streets. No joke. Made so many sales of nunchucks that he ended up buying that Cooks Brothers. I remember. And it was funny because nobody really knew kind of what it was. They knew it was a high-end bike, and it was a chromoly, like one of the first really light chromoly bikes. It was just feather light. And yeah, so it's crazy. I'm sure that bike is, because again, it was a rare bike then in the 80s. So to find it now is probably even way more rare. So yeah, good old Cooks Brothers. All right, I'm out of here, man. Yeah, you didn't want to do that, Gil. You'd lose some teeth. Cooks Brothers is the world's most expensive cruiser, is it? Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Big money, man. They sell so many independent bikes, manufactured BMX and others now in 2026. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, they figured, none of these big companies are around anymore, so start off by making little small companies. I mean, skateboarding did the same thing, right? Some of these companies became really big. They figured, oh, well, if Pal Peralta and Santa Cruz and GNS could do it, why can't we do it? Why can't Blind Skateboards or whoever else do it? And it was just like that then. Like with the Cooks Brothers, you had skateboards that were like the blockheads. Sam Cunningham. I bet you that deck is really expensive now. If you can find a Sam Cunningham blockheads deck. Because again, it was rare then. Not a lot of people used it then. They were so into Pal Peralta and everybody else, and Vision, that some of those boards were really rare. So it's the same thing with the Cooks Brothers. You just have those rarities, and when you find them, those are the ones to hold on to. Mint shape, the sky's the limit. Oh, I bet. But good luck finding that. They're $50K in rough shape. Oh my God. $50,000 for a fucked up bike. Bro, we're in a weird world. Seat clamp is $4,500. That's what I'm saying, because people that's the thing with bikes. A lot of people molest them. They put different things on them, the way they want to set it up. And the next thing you know is this hodgepodge of parts. It's not, most of the original stuff just gets thrown by the wayside. And, as you know, it's always about originality. Look at the difference between an original 69 Camaro and one that's a resto mod. Huge night and day difference in price. Because as nice as the resto mod is, and beautiful and new, and drive to New York from LA and no problems, and AC and all that, people would rather have the all original. Because it's only original once. Police chases are becoming rare lately. What's up with that? Ed, other than lawsuits really taking a hold of the law enforcement agencies out here, like I was saying the other day, I don't know what else it could be. I mean, they're happening. They're just not making it to the news. You got to remember that. There's 20 every single day, 20 here. But most don't make it to the news. And the ones you do see on the news have been going for 15 minutes already. So everybody's missed 15 minutes of it, unless you were dumb luck when they were on top of that fire showing you the fire, and the fire's out, that they got a police chase that just literally goes by them, or a mile out, so they're flying a minute. And they're right on top of it. That happens occasionally, but not very often. So that's just how it is. I mean, it could be the death of this show, for all we know. It is what it is. It's fate. All right, guys. I guess that's it for now. I'll see you guys on Friday. Remember, I'm going to save you guys an hour and a half of your time, so we'll start late on Friday. It'll be like 11:30. I'll see you for the LA City Council, because they always do that hour and a half of bullshit on Fridays for the presentations, and I want to save your time for that. So keep the notifications on in case we do get to chase Ed and everybody else today, because we'll hop on, because I'll be here live, so it is what it is. Hopefully we get us a chase. Enjoy the rest of your hump day, and I'll see you guys on Friday. If not, enjoy. Bye.
This party is officially over.